Hey, welcome back to 21 Days of Fasting and Prayer. We're talking about new wineskins today. I want to give you one thing that is going to help you to set your mind on as you're fasting and praying and thinking about God and all He has. It's from Luke chapter 5. We talked about it yesterday when we see this interaction that Jesus has with His disciples and the Pharisees. And the Pharisees are actually complaining, hey, Jesus, your disciples are doing things in a totally different way than the way we do things. And Jesus is completely comfortable with this. I have found that He has no problem changing things up and ruffling some feathers and actually confronting old mindsets and old ways of doing things in order to do something new. And we see Him explain this in this parable or this story about the new wineskins. Looking at Luke chapter 5, verse 37, He says, "No one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine will burst the wineskins, and it'll be spilled, and the wineskins will be ruined. But new wine must be poured into new wineskins, and both are preserved." But He doesn't stop there. Verse 39, "And no one, having drunk old wine, immediately desires the new, for he says the old is better." There's so much in there. So I want to try to give us at least one thing today. God wants to put new wine into the new wineskins. The new wine is the new life, and it expands, and it fills, and it's good. But in order to receive what God has, there's a new way of doing things, a new way of seeing things, a new way of believing, a new way of thinking, that we have to be able to adjust in order to receive what God has. If we don't make the adjustments, but yet we want God to do something new, but we're not willing to change, then we can't handle it. And what ends up happening is both that new thing that God is wanting to do, as well as us, or the old thing, it's ruined. It's ruined. Have you ever noticed when positive change comes, but the people aren't ready for it, or if you're not ready for it, you miss out on both, so you don't even get to go back to the old way, and you don't embrace the new way, and so you're just in this place where it's it's broken. God wants to avoid that, and He tells us that. But look what He says in this passage here. He says, first of all, no one does that. God's not going to do it. He's not going to do something new in our lives unless we're willing to change. But then He says this, no one, having drunk old wine, immediately desires new, for he says the old is better. That's so important because God is wanting to bring change in your life. And He's wanting to bring change in your family, in your career, in your ministry, in your church, all around. God is wanting to do new things. But it's so easy to be comfortable with the old things. The old wine, He says, anyone who drank the old wine, they don't want the new wine because they say the old's better. So in other words, it's difficult to embrace change. But the one thing that I think will help you today is to have a growth mindset and to look at the change that's going on around you. Some of it you wanted, some of it you didn't, but that you would have a heart that says, God, help me to embrace change and not be like the person who says, no, I don't want the new because the old is better. May we never be satisfied with the old wine. May we always be thirsting and craving the new wine that God has. And may we always be ready to be that new wineskin, ready to receive it. So think about that for your life. How do I embrace the new wine? How do I embrace this mindset here? How do I move forward to change and help other people along as well? Because for many of us, change isn't easy. And Jesus just points that out right here. He said, people like the old way. That's the human nature. But yet God is wanting to do something new. So that mindset right there of embracing change, look to the Lord today and ask Him to help you with that. I hope that helps. We'll be right back with you tomorrow. Like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with other people. We'll see you soon.